You're watching Overreaction Saturday. I'm Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we're going to be talking about the Raiders' 24-24 tie up against the 49ers, but we're going to be a little bit spicy. We're going to be a little bit hot takey here on this show, and to me, there's four players that we really got to talk about. We got to talk about Byron Young, Tyreik McAllister, Ramble Keat. We also have to talk about Amari Gainer. Now, you can look at a lot of these numbers, you can look at a lot of these stats, but what I really want you to come away from, and the big picture from tonight's football game, is who's making the roster, who's not making the roster. And quite frankly, that's all I'm going to talk about, because every single player that played in that game tonight was fighting for a job. Every single player that was going out there doing their thing, they were battling to be able to put a roof over their head, food on a table. Raiders have to get down to 53 players by Tuesday, August 27th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And everything we're talking about today is whether or not they're making it or they're not making it. That's as real as you get on an overreaction type of show. So let's first talk about Amari Gainer, a player that I said I thought was the MVP of tonight's game from the defensive side of the football. And you know what? I believe that he deserves to make this team. Guess what? This one's Believe It Baby, man. This is a young man entering the game, one of the highest graded PFF players coming into it, 89.9. Led the team in tackles tonight. I want to say with 12. He had a hell of a play, broke one up earlier as well. He can go sideline to sideline. If he keeps playing the way that he's playing, I legitimately think that you could see Amari Gainer being a starting linebacker next to Robert Spillane, because I know Tommy Eichenberg is the guy they drafted in the 5th round. Amari Gainer is playing like he deserves that. He should have been drafted. He was our highest graded UDFA player here, and he's playing like a man that's got a lot of heart. I'm telling you what, right now, I hope he puts him on the team. And if you want Amari Gainer on this squad, you better click that like button right now, because if you're not fired up by the way that kid played, a linebacker, a UDFA, if I'm Antonio Pierce, I look at that kid and I go, yeah, he reminds me of Lee. He plays with a lot of heart. You got to respect it. Now, I know that the Raiders are only probably going to play a lot of two linebackers quite some time. And some of you are asking, well, Mitch, how does he quite fit on this team? They're going to keep Spillane. They're going to keep Diablo. They're going to keep Tommy Eichenberg. And I'll tell you this right now, and I'm not even afraid to say it right now. I'm keeping him over Luke Masterson, okay? I know Luke Masterson is a good football player, and it sucks that I'm even saying it. But you're going to keep Amari Burney because of his special teams value, more from the new kick return rules. And I think also because Gainer can help you out on special teams, probably more than what Masterson can. That's why I would do it. But man, oh man, if this kid ends up not making the squad, I'm going to be heartbroken. Because if he goes on the practice squad, he's not hanging around there. There's going to be another team that claims him. There's going to be another kid that looks at what he did and they go, that kid's good enough to make a roster, because he is. He's good enough to make a 53-man as far as I'm concerned. We did hit 172,000 subs on our Raiders 49ers watch party. Shout out to all of y'all. I still don't even have a voice for how crazy that game was. We had a lot of fun. That's what we do. If you miss Oakland, if you're a diehard Raider fan, if you're a real one, and quite frankly, if you're watching the Raiders Report in a third preseason game at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's a real one, and you probably sound like this too. If you do sound like this, you definitely need to subscribe. Let's go to Ramble Keat now on the offensive side of the football. Ramel struggled a little bit earlier on in this game, and then quite frankly took over at the end of it. You could tell that AP was trying to really get him involved, and I know that I really want to say that he deserves to make this team. But I got to say that this is a little bit of an overreaction. It's not even what he didn't do at the end. I always say, where's the most important time to play? At the end of that football game. Beautiful one-handed catch. But, if I'm going to keep a 6 receiver, okay, you got to be more consistent. And everybody watching this show right now is going to agree with me. You watch flashes of Ramble Keat, and you're like, holy shit, this guy's unbelievable. And then he drops the easy one. The concentration's got to be there. He's going to make this practice squad, and I'm excited to see him end up making this practice squad. But the Raiders are going to keep Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner. He's a lock to end up making this team. And then there's another player on this list, another player on this depth chart that I'm going to say deserves to make it, but you got to wait to see what that answer is. So out of all the receivers, okay, who are the final wide receivers who end up making this roster? I believe that there's going to be 6. Now, maybe they decide to change that up. Maybe they want to keep an extra offensive lineman depending on the health of a JPJ, a Colton Miller. I know they're back from the PUP list, but still, maybe you want to just be a little bit concerned there, assured. Let me know how many receivers make this final roster down below in the comments section. I'm going to go with 6, and I'm going to tell you who that 6th receiver is after I tell you about our awesome sponsor here, Rocket Money. I need to save my voice almost as bad as I need to save some money. And Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bill so that you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, I got full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of my expenses. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something that I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel it with just a few taps. I love my fiance, Alex, but man, we've been saving up for a wedding. I've been saving up for a car, a vacation even wouldn't be too bad, but hey, football season's here after all. Shit, Raiders tickets. And you can also check your credit score. You should definitely go to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders because they've helped over 5 million users save a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So stop wasting your things or stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscription by going to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. I'm going to say it again. That's rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's show. That player that deserves to make the roster that's the other receiver, I'm going to say it's Tyreik McAllister. And the reason why I'm going to keep Tyreik McAllister over a player like Ramble Keat is because I'm so confident in Devontae Jacoby, Trey Tucker. Those guys have shown me enough. I'm so confident in Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers to be the ability to catch the football. But what do I want? I want speed. McAllister's got legit 4.34 speed. And if I'm going to keep that 6th receiver, I also want a guy that I can use as special teams. Dude had an 81-yard punt return touchdown today. I mean, he was the MVP of this football game. When he touches the ball, people panic. And if I want to run some, pre-snap motion, I want to give Trey Tucker a breather, you can bring Tyreik McAllister in. You can bring DJ Turner in. I'm going to run the same offense that I would with Trey Tucker, Tyreik McAllister, DJ Turner, because when they're on the field, people are going to be scared. That young man showed up today. He deserves a spot on this roster. I'm telling y'all right now, that's an electric player. And even if, like I said, if he doesn't make it, I'll be upset. I'll be upset a little bit. He's going to definitely make the practice squad worst case scenario, but the Raiders wanted to add speed. AP, I don't know if you watch this show, but if you want to prove to me and the entire nation that you're watching this thing right now, you keep Tyreik McAllister, because what more could you ask for a guy fighting for his life, and he found a way to make it happen. He found a way to make it happen. Let's make it happen for him. All right, y'all, those are all the rumors they're going to do. Actually, you know what, Chugs? Byron Young. We got to talk about Byron Young. Byron Young, Matthew Butler. I lied at the beginning of the show. We got to talk about both of those guys as well. Obviously, I was hoping to see some of this battle between the defensive tackle spot. And if anybody wants to yell at me, disagree with me, anything I say on today's show, always remember, you can get at me at Mitchell Renz 365. If you want to interact with me, because I'm about to get up here in a few hours, I'm going to watch some college football. Can't wait till college football is back. If you're with me, let me know who you got. But we're going to be talking about it on social media at Mitchell Renz 365. I got one more extra overreaction from this game. And my overreaction is Byron Young's going to get cut. I know Byron had a sack, and, I said earlier in the game, Byron's not going out there. He's not doing anything. Take him out of the game if he doesn't want to be in there. Then he gets a sack. Byron, I hope you see that and hope you gave me a big middle finger. Quite honestly, you deserve it. But Matthew Butler, to me, played with more heart, and there was too many times in this game where I thought Byron just didn't bring enough juice to it. You know what I mean? Gave up on a few, still is not showing that ability to get an anchor. He did make a tackle in this game, which you like to see. But Antonio Pierce said something to me that's just stuck in my brain. And he said, if you ask Matthew Butler to do something, he's going to do it. And this is a player that I know was not in the best graces for some other players on this team when he was a rookie. And now in his 3rd year, it sounds like he's starting to click. I love the effort that I saw out there. Another player that I would just say you better keep on his practice squad is Noah Shannon. Another dude that's been getting a lot of attention from a guy like Crosby saying he's working his freaking tail off. Played some pretty solid snaps tonight. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be happening for Marquel McCall, Nesta Jade Silvera. But Byron, I hope you get back in the lab. I hope you keep working. But I think you got to look yourself in the mirror and go, hey, did I play better than Matthew Butler this entire preseason and offseason? That answer to that is no. I'm sure they're friends. I'm sure they're boys. I'm sure they would understand. But I got to keep Matthew Butler over Byron Young. If that's a hot take, well, then, hey, you're watching the right show. Again, y'all, it's Raiders Overreaction Saturday. I know it says Sunday. Chugs and I got a little bit litty-titty tonight, and if you didn't know, then you didn't watch all the crazy Raider fans that we had in the preseason Week 3 game. Next time you're going to see me live on the show, is going to be on Tuesday, unless there's breaking news. But just due to our schedules, Chug's actually literally got to be here in I'm not even kidding you, 6 hours. It's kind of crazy. I at least have the day off. So if any breaking news happens, I'm going to be filming everything at home, live, whatever, unless it's the craziest trade of all time. Then I'll end up coming to the studio. Shout out to Chugs. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to all the real ones out there. OC Raider, the MVP tonight's show. Good night. Go Raiders. A lot of people fought for jobs. I'm very, very proud of the game that I watched for the Raiders. Amari Gainer, Tyreik McAllister, you're on my squad.